I don't even know where to start. This weekend was a roller coaster of emotions. Honestly, I still can't believe half of what happened. On Saturday morning, something really surprising happened. I met my friend Brad for breakfast, and guess what? He was early. Yes, Brad, the guy who is always at least 15 minutes late. I was standing outside the cafe, checking my watch, expecting to wait again. But there he was, already sipping his latte. I laughed and said, "I'm really surprised to see you here before me. What's going on?" He smiled and said, "Well, miracles happen." It was a pleasant surprise to start the day with. Then I went shopping with my sister. We had planned to buy a gift for our cousin's birthday. We were excited because there was a new boutique in town that looked amazing online. But oh wow, what a letdown. The clothes looked cheap, the staff were rude, and everything was overpriced. I told my sister, "This place is so disappointing. I can't believe people left good reviews." She agreed, saying, "I expected way more. This whole trip feels like a waste of time." We left feeling quite disappointed. In the afternoon, I had to deal with some work emails, and that's when I started feeling a bit annoyed. My manager sent me a message asking about a report that I had already submitted, twice. I replied politely, but inside I thought, how annoying is that? Doesn't anyone check their inbox? I even said out loud, "I'm getting really annoyed with this." It's not the first time something like this has happened, and it's starting to become frustrating. Later that evening, things got better. I met a group of old university friends for dinner. We hadn't seen each other in months, so we had a lot to catch up on. My friend Jake told a story about getting locked out of his house while wearing pajamas. I was crying with laughter. Honestly, Jake is so amusing. Every time we hang out, he makes the evening so much fun. I said, "I haven't laughed this hard in ages. You're hilarious." After dinner, we went to a movie. It was a thriller, and honestly, it was terrifying. Halfway through, I wanted to leave. I whispered to my friend, "This is too frightening for me." My hands were sweating, and I kept jumping in my seat. Even my friend said, "That was the scariest movie I've seen in a while." We were both so frightened that we walked home quickly, constantly checking behind us. Sunday morning, I joined my parents for brunch. My dad was telling us a story about his childhood, and some of the things he said were shocking. I looked at him and said, "Seriously? That really happened? I am shocked." He laughed and said, "Yes, it was a different time." I love those conversations because I always learn something new. Later in the day, I went to a museum exhibition about ancient civilizations. I've always been interested in history, but this one really stood out. The details, the artifacts, the stories, it was all so fascinating. I told the guide, "This is incredible. I didn't expect to enjoy it this much." She smiled and said, "A lot of people say that." I left the museum feeling inspired and full of curiosity. But then, just when I thought the weekend was over, I had one last embarrassing moment. I was video calling my friend while eating a banana, and I didn't notice that some of it got stuck on my face. She suddenly started laughing and said, "You've got something on your cheek." I looked at myself in the camera and felt my face go red. I said, "Oh no, how embarrassing." We both laughed for 5 minutes straight. And now it's Monday, and I'm still thinking about everything that happened. I feel like I've been through every emotion possible in just 2 days. But you know what? I wouldn't change a thing. Life's more interesting this way, and I have so many stories to tell. Some things were annoying, others were embarrassing, but most of all, they were just real. And that's what makes life fascinating.